Mario, can you introduce yourself and give us a bit of a background?
Sure. I'm the founder and CEO of Fullerton Markets, Asia Pacific's fastest growing brokerage firm. So we are a simple platform that basically lists very, very different instruments like currencies, stocks, CFDs, oil, gold, silver. So we basically make a commission as and when clients transact on the platform, regardless of whether they buy and sell.
Okay.
I'm also a published author. I published 2 best-selling books. These books have been endorsed by billion-dollar fund managers, which includes Dr. Mark Mobius, who runs Franklin Templeton.
Okay. Why is the retail market so fascinated with cryptocurrency?
Well, I think for the last few years, it's so difficult to ignore cryptocurrency.
Right.
I mean, I've had this saying that you just can't afford to ignore cryptocurrency anymore. I mean, everyone is seeing how Bitcoin has literally rocketed over the last few years. People are looking at Ethereum, whether it's Litecoin or Goldcoin or Neo, stuff like that. So the retail market is fascinated by the fact that, wow, I could get in early, and see something rise. Everyone is familiar with the story about how if you had invested just $100 in Bitcoin just 7 years ago, you'd be worth a mind-boggling 140 million US. So I think the retail market is fascinated with that fact, that something so fresh and so legitimate, in today's world could really have such a meteoric rise in the financial space.
Mario, what makes online trading so attractive to the retail market?
Online trading, I think, has really exploded over the last 10 years. And there's basically 3 to 4 reasons why many people are jumping on board the bandwagon. Let me give you 2 or 3 examples, right? Number one is the word called liquidity. All right, if you look at the Forex market per se, the Forex market today trades over $5 trillion US dollars in a single day. Now, that is the largest financial market in the world, right? So Forex is a bona fide asset class on its own. Now, having said that, that hasn't even added the cryptocurrency space. Many of us would have seen the news about how cryptocurrency as an asset class, so to speak, has already, superseded the market cap of JP Morgan. News just came out a few days ago that the entire market today is worth about 270 billion US dollars. So, number one, it would be liquidity. Number two is the fact that in online trading, people can basically buy and sell at any time. They can go long, they can go short, they can do whatever they want. So they're not constricted in a sense by, I can only buy something hoping the price goes up. You can also sell and speculate hoping the prices actually come down. So these are the few reasons why I feel many people are fascinated with the online trading world.
Now, what are the rules for successful trading?
I would say there's basically 3 rules, all right? I call them laws, so to speak. So if anyone, regardless of whether you're young or old, if you would just adhere to these 3 rules, you can be fairly successful in the financial market. So number one is strategy. Everywhere I go, wherever I speak, regardless of the country I'm in, many people are always asking the same question. Mario, when do I buy? When do I sell? What do I buy? What do I sell? So if you look deeper behind the question, then essentially what they're asking is the strategy, right? People want to know exactly what's going on. So strategy is a very important component. Number 2 is something called money management. Part of the reason why many people feel online trading is risky, they don't know how to manage their risk. One shot, most people, I would say, they tend to bet, they tend to gamble. So if they start with $10,000, they bet the entire $10,000 in, hoping it flips to $20,000, all right? And if they lose the entire pot. So I think money management is important. People need to understand how much should you be risking at any point of time. The third factor for me, which is I would consider as the most important factor, is something called psychology, emotions. Right? We as human beings are always driven by emotions, whether it's fear, hope, greed. So if you are not able to control that emotions, you'll always be pulled in a roller coaster in the markets. So in summary, the 3 rules I would say would be strategy, money management, and psychology.
Now, last question, Mario. How do you identify a killer ICO?
I've been asking myself this question a lot of times. What is the reason that for some companies, the ICOs are such a runaway success, and for others, it basically just falls flat on the ground. So I've come up with my own framework of rules that I would like to share. Number one, I feel credibility is important. Today, regardless of the industry that we are in, or regardless of the business we are in, I think trust is really the most bankable currency at any point. So if a company comes out and literally displays who are the people behind the company, and if these people are recognized experts in their field or whatever they've been trying to achieve, then I think it's a huge tick already. So credibility is important. That's step one. Number two is something called system, right? There's a great saying that I fully agree with, that people manage the system manages the business. So understanding the system of the company is important. You know, if you look through any company's white paper, if they were to detail out specifically on the roadmap what milestones they're going to achieve, when they're going to achieve it, why are they achieving such milestones. So understanding the system of the company is important, and that can be gleaned from the white paper. Number three would be something called value. You know, it's not just about launching the next new sexy ICO. The ICO or whatever the company is trying to achieve needs to really demonstrate real value, whether it's it for its clients, whether it's it for the company or for the ecosystem at large. You know, so these three rules, if you put it together, I think that's quite a bankable ICO. So number one, credibility. Number two, system. Number three, value.
Thank you, Mario, for your time.
Thank you for having me.